Esabelle was born into a noble family in a great medieval European kingdom. Her father had once been a highly decorated general who had fought in many wars defending the realm against northern barbarian invasions. Later, he returned home severely wounded to recuperate and was awarded the nation's highest cross medal along with a knighthood. Her mother was also born into a prestigious and wealthy family. However, due to her grandfather's prejudice and disdain toward soldiers, she eloped with Esabelle's father and married him without permission, never returning to her parental home again. Esabelle grew up in a wealthy environment. Her parents loved her dearly and treated her as the apple of their eye. They hired many private tutors to teach her music, dance, poetry, and literature. She was naturally intelligent, and even at a young age she could perform beautiful music and recite poetry loudly in front of relatives and friends, always earning thunderous applause. Her father also personally taught her horseback riding, archery, and survival skills in the wild. At 17, Esabelle had already grown into a tall, stunning, and mature young woman. Occasionally, she was invited by friends to attend high society balls, where she always became the center of attention. Unmarried noble young men would line up to invite her to dance, hoping to court her. Some even proposed to her on the spot, but all were rejected. She had no interest whatsoever in these idle noblemen. This only provoked jealousy and resentment among the noble ladies at the balls. They would gather in small groups, gossiping about her and even slandering her openly. Whenever the young nobles lined up to ask Esabelle to dance, these ladies would sneer and whisper, "Look at these filthy rams lining up to get into her bed. She's just like a successful prostitute. I hope she gets sick and dies soon." The old duke's son, Henry, was deeply infatuated with Esabelle. He constantly begged his mother to host balls at their home and asked Esabelle's friend Stephanie to find ways to invite her. He publicly proposed to Esabelle several times, but was always rejected. Once he tried to force a kiss on her, but she pushed him away mercilessly. Enraged and humiliated, he attempted to drag her into a room by force. The gentlemen and ladies present were utterly shocked, but due to the immense power of the duke's family, and because Henry's mother was the old king's sister, no one dared to intervene. Had the duke not returned home in time to stop his son's outrageous behavior, Henry might have done something truly unforgivable. This incident made the noble ladies hate Esabelle even more. Some complained why they weren't the ones chosen by Henry. They even fantasized that if they were dragged into a room by him, they would not resist. That damned pretentious Esabelle, why do men always revolve around her? Soon, malicious rumors spread among high society that Esabelle had improper relations with both the old duke and his son, and had even borne children for each of them. When Stephanie told Esabelle about these insults and slanders, she would simply smile and say, "My friend, the fact that they hate me so much and fabricate such shameful lies only proves my beauty and unmatched charm. They must be driven mad by jealousy. I will no longer attend those boring balls. Let them fight over their princes. Soon they will turn their attention to one another, and new rumors will arise. Those shameless rumor makers will eventually suffer from their own lies." One day, Esabelle's father took her hunting in the mountains. They had a successful hunt, catching 2 pheasants and 3 rabbits. On their way home, the weather suddenly changed. A violent storm soaked them as wind and rain lashed against them. They spurred their horses and raced toward home. At a fork in the road not far from home, they encountered an injured old hunter lying on the ground. He was drenched, with a severe gash on his leg. Blood mixed with rainwater, forming a small red puddle. Unable to walk, he lay there groaning in pain. Esabelle and her father decided to bring him home, treat his wound, and send him back after the storm passed. They returned home with the hunter and their game. To their surprise, there was already a guest waiting. Henry, the duke's son, had arrived with many gifts to propose marriage. Not finding Esabelle at home, He was disappointed and had planned to leave, but the sudden storm forced him to stay. Esabelle's mother was keeping him company. Esabelle's father had servants carry the old hunter to a guest room and instructed the steward to treat his wounds and let him rest. He and Esabelle went to change clothes. At dinner, the family dined with Henry. He stated his purpose again. He wished to marry Esabelle and sought her parents' approval. Esabelle firmly rejected him in person. The atmosphere became extremely awkward. Her father remained silent. He had never liked this frivolous young man. Her mother tried to smooth things over with forced smiles. Seeing that he would once again leave disappointed, Henry became desperate. He began to describe each gift he had brought. When no one was impressed, he gritted his teeth and took out a magnificent necklace made of hundreds of diamonds, with an enormous pink diamond pendant. He had the servants show it to everyone. Esabelle's mother gasped, "My heavens! This is the Queen's tear, the most precious diamond necklace in the world." Henry smiled proudly. "Yes, my dear Baroness, this is the largest pink diamond in the world, priceless. If Esabelle marries me, she will be its owner." Esabelle and her father were stunned. They had heard of the necklace. It was a royal heirloom passed down through generations of queens. Believing he had already won, Henry took the necklace, knelt before Esabelle, and held up the massive pink diamond. "Marry me, my dear Esabelle. You will become the happiest woman in the world." Esabelle looked at the necklace, frowned, and said firmly, "Respected Henry, I'm afraid I cannot accept your request. I have no intention of becoming the owner of this necklace." She stood up and left the room. Henry froze in shock, his face flushed red. Her parents were also stunned, silently blaming their daughter's bluntness, but unsure how to comfort him. Suddenly, Henry stood up angrily, threw the necklace onto the table, and stormed out into the rain. He mounted his horse and galloped away. Esabelle's father rushed after him, but couldn't catch up. Back inside, he discussed the matter with his wife. She said blankly, "Tomorrow, you must personally return the necklace and gifts to the Duke and ask for forgiveness. As for Esabelle, she must never attend another ball." She glanced resentfully at Esabelle's room. The father sighed and instructed servants to store the gifts securely. That night, each family member lay awake with their own troubled thoughts as the storm raged outside.